Hey everyone, my name is Zach Esger, and we are so excited that you've joined us on our first ever Tent Apps webinar. We have decided this year that we want to do more than just provide websites for churches and ministries. We want to do all that we can to help our clients, our churches, our ministries be able to more effectively reach their community and more effectively proclaim the gospel. And so we're excited to do that, and we're going to be launching a once-a-month webinar. And so I just want to welcome all of you guys that are on here for our kickoff. Very first, the funnest, it's going to be the best, because you know what? Today we get to talk about $10,000 of free things for your church. So if this is something new to you that you've never heard about, it is called the Google Ads Grant. And as a church or nonprofit, you have access to be able to get to this. So one of the things that we're going to do in each of our webinars is we're going to unpack just something that might be able to help you. We'll be putting this on a podcast as well, but our goal is to help add value and help support you in any way that we can through your digital marketing efforts to help you better reach your community. So in all of that, we're super excited today to kick this all off by talking about the Google Ads Grant. Now, as an agency, we've ran Google Ads for businesses for forever. But it's been really cool as God has really laid it on our hearts to find ways to better help churches advertise themselves in their communities. And one of the amazing things about churches and Google is there's this thing called the Google Nonprofit Grant. So let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen with you here, and we'll be looking at a few things today. So let me find this here for us. So today, what we're going to be covering is what is the Google Ads Grant. We're going to talk about, is my church or ministry eligible? We're going to talk about steps to apply and how to use the Google Ads Grant to reach your community. So what is the Google Ads Grant? Let's start off there. So the Google Ads Grant is a grant that gives you up to $10,000 per month in free Google Ads. That's right, $10,000 per month is a lot to be able to spend on Google Ads. Now, a few qualifying things about this. This is not a monetary grant. So this isn't Google sending you a $10,000 check every month. You don't get to go buy new speakers, a new church fan. You don't get to go buy new chairs. This is specifically for free advertising through Google. So you'll see on the screen here, there's a picture of a phone. And if somebody types in something into Google and they're searching something, let's just say they're searching for a church in your town. They type in church near me or church in Durango, church in Lubbock. What are they searching for? So as they begin to search for those keywords, what's going to come up is organic results, and hopefully you're up high. If not, we'll talk about how to get you up higher in organic results. But there's also a section there for paid results. And so that's people that are paying to get their ad up at the top. Now, as a nonprofit, you get different placements. There's on top ads, there's below ads. Now, one of the cool things is that by applying for the Google Ads Grant, and if you get it, you're able to get $10,000 of free clicks where people see your ad, they can click and come to your website. Now, typically, if you didn't have the Google Ads Grant, you'd be spending $4, $5, $10 for somebody to click on that ad and land on your church website, learn more about your church, learn more about your youth group, things that you have going on. Now, the cool thing for the nonprofit grant is you don't have to pay a dime for it. Once you're accepted in the program, there's just a few qualifications that you have to continue to meet in order to keep advertising, but you get free ads. And so that's a huge, huge, huge benefit for churches because it helps you meet people when they're looking for you, when they're looking for a church, when they're looking for a youth group, when they're looking for a way to get plugged in. It's a great way to market your church, to share with your community about all that you have going on. So that's what the Google Ads Grant is. It's whenever somebody searches for a keyword in Google, it helps your website show up at the top so that you can get clicked on and get people over to your website. So let's talk a little bit about who is eligible. Is your church or ministry eligible? So there's a few qualifying things. The first thing is that you must be a 501c3 status nonprofit in the United States. Now, we do work with a few international folks as well. For y'all, we'll talk a little bit more individually about that specific to your country. But if you're in the United States, 501c3 status, the biggest thing here is you have to have paperwork. And this is the biggest thing that we work with folks on is in order to get any of this started, any of this going, you need to find your 501c3 paperwork. So if you want to be able to apply this for your church, start finding that paperwork. You're going to need it at some point. The next question that we usually get a lot is, hey, I'm a part of a bigger denomination and we're part of this umbrella group of a 501c3. Yes, you are still eligible to apply. You just need some type of paperwork proving that relationship, proving your umbrella 501c3 status. So most denominations, most group statuses have some type of paperwork that they can provide to you that shows that they are a 501c3 and somehow you fall underneath that umbrella, but you have to be able to prove that affiliation. So you really start to waste a lot of time if you try and go down this road and you don't have that paperwork, if you don't have that affiliation paperwork. So the two biggest things here in applying is get your paperwork ready. In order to be able to apply, you're going to need that. The next thing, just to touch base on, is you need a high quality website. You can't just sort of have a do website, and we'd love to help you out with that. It needs to be secure, it needs to be professional, it needs to say what you're about. Google's going to actually go and look at your website and make sure that you are who you say you are. They're also going to make sure that you're not selling any products, because they're not going to give you free money for you to go and make a lot of money by selling your church merchandise. So if you have a church merchandise store during this application process, it might be something that we need to talk through with your Google rep, or maybe we just consider taking off a church merchandise store if that's something that you have. Another thing that we want to look at is no advertisements on your website. So no sponsorships to the local plumber, no Google AdSense ads on your website. We can't have any ads like that. So pretty easy for you to be eligible. Next, let's talk quickly about steps to apply. So what does it look like for you to actually begin to apply for this process? So the first thing is you're going to need to be verified by a group called Percent. Percent is Google's third-party just nonprofit verification group. And so you're going to have all your paperwork. Again, this is the biggest step that a lot of people get really excited about. Hey, I can get $10,000 a month in free Google ads. And then they get to this step and they can't find their paperwork. So again, very important. Talk to your admin, start looking in all the file cabinets, talk to old pastors that might have an email, but you have to find that paperwork in order to begin to apply to get verified with Percent. So now Percent is just a third-party group. There's some easy links we can get you if you guys are ready to start this process, to where you start to apply with them. They verify all your paperwork. They verify you have 501c3 nonprofit status. And then once you get that verification, we start an application process with Google, where we just simply apply with Google and say, hey, we have this Percent nonprofit verification. They say, all right, thumbs up, you're good to go. You get accepted, and it's really pretty easy. You start advertising. But now that's sort of the next step is, when you're ready to start advertising, you got to start to figure out, how do I set these up? And before we start to talk about like, how do we actually set up Google ads for your church or for your nonprofit or your college ministry, we need maybe zoom back out a little bit and talk about like, why would we want to advertise on Google? Why would we want to spend time and money investing into running Google ads? So really it's pretty simple. And this is what I would say about the benefits for you as a ministry, as a church running Google ads. Is one, people are looking for a church in your community. They're searching for church in Lubbock, church in Durango, church in Denver, church in Dallas. They're searching for a church. Some people might be searching for the first time. Some people may have just moved to your community and are looking for a church to come to and plug into and be a part of. Now, this also goes, we work with a lot of college ministries. We work with a lot of nonprofits, denominations. This really goes across the board. No matter what your ministry has to offer or what demographic you're working with, people are looking for you. I've been in college ministry for the last 12 years, and knowing as a college pastor, every year it's this huge rush of people looking for college ministry at Texas Tech, college ministry at UGA, college ministry at Florida State. People are looking for that. And the cool thing is, if you're running these free Google ads, you're going to have a position in the paid ads spot. And I would say, and have to guess, quite a few other churches and ministries in your area probably aren't running Google ads. So it gives you a spot to be able to highlight your church, highlight what you're so excited about, what God is doing in your community, in your ministry. The next thing to think about is people are looking for youth groups. People are looking for places for the kids to get plugged into. So they're searching for that. People are also looking for an Easter service or Christmas Eve service. So we can set up Google ads specifically for Easter services, for Christmas services. People looking for those. The other big thing that I think a lot of people don't know that they can do, and they really miss out on utilizing their Google Ads grant. And we work with some churches that already have the Google Ads grant, but they come to us saying, man, $10,000, there's no way I can ever spend that. And you're right, that's a lot of money to spend, maybe in a small rural community. But a lot of times people come to us and all they're going after is people looking for the keywords like, hey, I'm looking for a church near me, name of my church, but they don't know that they can expand that some in ways that what are people really looking for, and what answers do you have to help answer, or what answers do you have for the questions that they have? So a lot of people are searching for like, is God real? Well, let's write a blog post about, is God real? Let's find some old sermon videos that you guys have. We'll link all those onto a page, and let's run a campaign around the keywords, is God real? And you're going to be able to meet people in their need right where they're at, right in their question. And you have the answer right there. And so a really cool way to utilize some of that free money and meet people in their need. We've seen other churches and worked with churches through prayer ads, through crisis ads, through grief ads, through death. Really people struggling with different things around the Christian faith that we have the answers for, and that answer is Jesus. And so we're just really excited to be able to help churches utilize this $10,000, because without utilizing some of that grant money, people would never find your website and hopefully get plugged into your church. And so we could put some little chat widgets up on your website whenever they are looking for, how do I pray to God? And you have a whole page dedicated to how to pray. And maybe on there we have a connect card, or we have a live chat widget, a way for them to connect with you, with your church, with somebody at your church, and hopefully be able to get them plugged into community. And it's just a great way to really utilize the Google Ads. So I say all of that, and there's a lot of technical things that you have to do, like you have to keep a CTR rate above 5%, CTR click-through rate. There's a lot of different things that you have to do to keep your nonprofit status, to keep things moving. Those are all outlined on Google's website for nonprofits, where you can learn more about that. We'd also just love to help you with that as well. And so if you guys have any questions about this, I would love to hear in the comments if you guys have any questions about anything that we've gone over so far. Let's just take a little pause here. Let me pull up anything that we have here. All right. So we had a question come in about if you get approved for the Google Ads nonprofit, can you also get the Google Workspace? So that's a good question, and you actually can. So whenever you apply with Google for their nonprofit status, you get approved. Hey, I'm officially a nonprofit in Google's eyes. So that means you get up to $10,000 a month in free Google Ads, but you also get access to their nonprofit G Suite, which is their Google Workspace suite. So you can get upgraded domain branded emails through Gmail. So that's a really big win. We help a lot of people out with that. You also get expanded and more drive space with Google Drive. There's a lot of great features. Those are the two biggest features we find for churches and for ministries, that having a bigger Google Drive and not having to pay for more storage space with Google Drive is very helpful, and also getting your branded domain. So what that means is if you go to Google and you're trying to get a free Gmail account, you're going to get @gmail.com, but you want something like @mychurch.com. Now, you usually have to pay for that, but once you get the nonprofit status, you can get that Workspace email account for free. You can add as many people onto that as you want. So, all right, I think that's our main question for today. So in all of this, again, if this is something that you're interested in and want to learn some more about, we'd love to talk. We'd love to tell you a little bit more about our church growth package. And so this is really in this last year where God has just really impressed on our hearts to find ways to help churches grow, to help them better reach their communities. And in this age of just being online and digital stuff, people are on their phones. People are looking for things on social media. They're looking for things on Google. They're looking for hope. And we want to help you be able to position yourself as a church to be able to point people towards Jesus. And so what we've done is we've put together a church growth calendar. So this is an entire calendar for the entire year where we're going to help churches that are part of this group be able to walk through different things in marketing. And now in all this, we're taking our 15 years of working with churches, with nonprofits, but also with businesses, and figuring out, how do we best run Google ads? How do we best run social media ads? How do we best work on search engine optimization and help people find us when they're looking for us? So there's a lot to helping your church stand out, helping your church be seen digitally. And so we'd love to walk through that. And so our church growth calendar is really meant to be, let's break this down and just focus on one step, one thing at a time. So we do that month by month. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can go to 10apps.com, schedule a time to meet with us. We'd love to talk to you about what that might look like for you and your church. But we'd also love just to hear from you and what questions you might have following up from this webinar. So that's really all that we have to go over today. I just want to say thanks for hopping on our first ever Tent Apps webinar. It's been super fun to get to hang out with you. Hope we got to help bring some clarity onto what Google Ads is, how you and your ministry could plug into that and use that to help you grow your church, your ministry. So let us know if you guys have any questions. Again, head over to 10apps.com. We have a new live chat feature. You can reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, hear what you thought about our first webinar, and see how we could best help you. Hope you have a great day.